Hey everybody, Orpheolus here, welcoming you all to, well, the very last episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I can't believe this is it. Just everything left we gotta do in the game that we're gonna do. Last time, we finished up challenge mode, doing the remainder of the challenges, and going over pretty much the remainder of the rewards and costumes and all that fun stuff. This time, well, we're gonna be starting things up with another New Game Plus run. Simply put, there's some stuff that I never really went over properly during the playthrough that I think it's time that we actually go through and do. So, I'll see you guys on a fresh new game. I'm literally only going to be doing a little bit because there's really only 3 or 4 things that I really got to add in on a New Game Plus playthrough, because before then I didn't really speedrun the game, and now I speedrun the game. Alright then. So with this all done, a note about challenge battles, since I didn't open up the DLC until after we went through our New Game Plus playthrough. Until you progress through the game story to the point you can travel to the Lethra Ruins, the portal to the land challenge will be placed in Argentum right up there outside Bonna's room. So please be advised that after so pretty much once you're able to go through Chapter 4, Lethra Ruins and such, Argentum will disappear. Good to know. So that's the first of the major things I want to note in Chapter 1. The other one lies in the ship. Next up is what happens if you talk to Bonna after being in the ship.
Man, what are you doing here? Bonna thought you'd be conducting investigation of ancient vessel. Hop up on the double. Have job to be doing, yes? Go do job.
So yeah, Bonna calls us out. And next up, let's investigate the portal with Jin and Malice in our party. Alright, and arriving here at the Land of Challenge, hello and up on our stage. Jin, oh, went too fast. Jin and Malice not welcome at challenge battles. Absolutely no. If you go all out, contest over an eye blink. It's exactly 0 fun for an open art stage, which means against regulations. Please speak once more after releasing members. Yeah, he calls us out on it. Meh. Alright then. So our destination is going to be on here on the ancient ship. So, you might remember in the first part of the New Game Plus playthrough, where I skipped the Lysat King and I did something else while I went down to the lower deck. Well, as it turns out, there was another glitch. In fact, this glitch was discovered around the same time as I recorded the episode. And this one saves a little bit more time, but it's a little bit harder to set up. And plus, if I were to do this glitch, I wouldn't be able to actually show the room where Pyra is stored in. So this little glitch is pretty useful for speedruns. We just click through. The easiest way to see is that there's 2 rocks right down the bottom of the screen. You move in between those. I'm going to move myself back a little bit. Aim myself down here. Alright, this will work. Yeah, this segment I'm not the greatest at. So jump down on this pedestal. Zoom out a little bit. Alright. Fall down this little pedestal. Jump forward, keep on holding. Land out in the loading bay. Line myself up between the rings up here. Hold in. Keep on holding. And we land right into the boss room. And there we go. Easy peasy. Also, the reason why I've been using Herald all this time in challenge mode is because Herald is super useful for runs. Because, well, Herald does a lot of damage. She's high risk, high reward. Also, why the heck am I zoomed up down there? That's a little bit better. Yeah, it made setting up a little bit more oof. So that is essentially the ether cylinder skip. You skip having to do the ether cylinder and to skip the entirety of the ship. Alright, Malice, you go down. Next up, here in Chapter 2, we're doing a little bit of a weird skip you can do to prevent opening up the bulkhead door down at the bottom here on the Adanian Titan. It's very particular. We do need drone mark for this, as with a lot of glitches. So, here we go. You just need to get the right angle. You're kind of running through the grate a little bit and then do a couple jumps. As you can tell, I'm not great at this. I don't do this in New Game Plus. And there we go. So switch to Rex and proceed to Bastion Dougal. One important thing though, if you do this, is that it does make it impossible for you to complete Jin's mission over in land a challenge. So be careful with that. Alright, and the next thing to note though is getting underneath Gormott. Here when the tide is high, there's a little bit of a wall here that, well, we can kind of have a little freak out. So, if we switch from Nia over to Rex, or I guess Tora, doesn't really matter, and hold forward while going through, we clip right into the middle of the Titan. So yeah, so we want the tide high so that way we don't fall to our deaths. So yeah, so you can swim underneath the entire Titan and just see it loading and deloading. It's definitely interesting. I'm just going to showcase a little bit. I mean, you could probably go really far out, including up to the head. I'm not going to do this because I have more important, because I got other things to do during this run. I don't really want to risk a crash. So yeah, so feel free to explore this entire area on your own time. Just switch from Nia to Rex and then try to clip through. Just on the outside. So, next up, we have Vandam in our party. So let's talk to the Art Sage. Friend Vandam want to take part. Sadly, the answer is negatory. Nope on Art Sage see fresh new fighting style. Not stayed in musty kind of mercenary leader. Oh no. Please speak once more after removing selected party members. So yeah. Once again, not really too accepting of Vandam. Then again, Vandam would probably get destroyed. Or destroy them all. Speaking of which, Imperial is mostly small fry, getting forgotten easily. But these ones not done. Friends think friends can take them. Yes, they reference the think you can take me. Alright, and the next aspect to do is Tardy Gate Skip. I kind of highlighted this a little bit, but I started speedrunning this game, so essentially we're just trying to wedge ourselves in the corner, switch once again from Nia to Rex because the roll mark has weird properties, hold forward while going through, and we clip right on in. This is used in speedruns. It's a little bit of a time save, not too much, but hey, gotta do everything you can to get that second or first place. So, about Factory Skip.
Let me get my breath.
One thing that, well, you kind of remember during the playthrough is that I was just yeeting myself at the wall. Turns out there's a much easier method. I absolutely do not like this, so I'm just gonna line myself up to the bottom. That should be reset. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to line myself up. That looks like a good angle. So what I'm doing is I'm running against this wall, trying to go pretty slowly and precisely until the dot lines itself up. And then once I'm about there, jump. And it's a way more consistent than doing it the old-fashioned way. Again, I am not good at the skip. This is probably the major time loss I have in runs, is just trying to get this skip down. Should be good. Yeah, this is a good angle. Going too fast. So yeah, you gotta go really slowly at this. This is a good speed. Jump! And I went too far. Yeah, if you're able to get too good of an angle, you clip through and jump, and yeah. I'll probably see you guys once I get it. Probably if normally I do like this 4 times and then I reset.
We'll have to be
I swear I'll get this good one day.
Idiots.
There we go. Yeah, that's essentially the first part of Factory Skip. Next part is just lining yourself up on there. Jump down and there we go. Important to do that because if you try to go through this door,
Hey, look what I found.
well, you'll actually trigger the animation, and yeah, the issue about opening that door is that nobody is there. And I really don't want to be seen by anybody, so hopefully things will go by well. So yeah, so a lot of stuff actually is imperative to not get spotted.
It must have sensed our skill. Surrender!
Yeah. Okay, fine. You want to play?
There is great strength.
Wild volley! Stop! Here!
I warned you.
Splendid!
So yeah, so you will be locked out if you were to do the skip. It's important because if you were to do the skip, you actually cannot fight Chicken Heart Dagamara. well, there is an extremely precise setup you can do to actually clip yourself through, but for all intents and purposes, Chicken Heart Dagamara is locked out if you were to do this thing. That's just the last real thing of note. So, yeah. So that is it here in Chapter 4. The next major thing is not until 6. And that's because something fun about Nia. So the next major thing to note is about the descent glitch. You might remember during the time I was in Tantal and did the jump down to the bottom, that in order to finish out the thing, what I had to do was switch out Rex and then go to the menu, save, quit, all that stuff. Turns out there's an easier thing to do, and that involves Dromark. Funny, little Dromark here is the source of pretty much all the remaining glitches of the game. So I didn't really know about this, I mean this was known around the time when I was recording it, but I wasn't really too involved with the speedrunning community until after I really picked up the 2 Xenoblade games, Definitive Edition and 2. So, in order to do this, what we gotta go is 3 veins crossroads. Buffer the input, 1, 2, 3. Press select, while still holding down the code. And you might notice that we arrived at with the zombie hover thing in tow. So, if we were to jump down, well, I already did the landmark, as you can already tell. I have first low orbit station. I'm just falling, and we live. Yeah, that's zombie hover too. You don't have to save, you don't have to quit, you get all the locations, all that fun stuff. That is super important. There's one other segment you can do to skip after Zeke getting down to the lower areas of forgot the location's name. Crap. Uriah, there we go. I knew it'd come to my head at some point. So going down to Uriah. After the Zeke battle, you input the code, and then you're able to skip yourself down. Very temperamental there and easy to crash. Learned that during practicing the game. So yes, that is the other part of Descent Glitch. The easier Descent Glitch. Thank you, Nia. And the common core is just for buff to dexterity. So, that is it there. Our next destination's going to lie in Spirit Crucible Elpis. I've already shown one of the 2 major things, but the other region that I really haven't mentioned though, which I kind of feel stupid for, lies at the end of Bone Road. Through the worst level we go! Alright then. So going down here into a large room, I never ever mentioned this pathway up here. In fact, I didn't know about this until after I started running the game. It's a little bit of a time save, yes. A time save that I never really knew about, so you might remember me going up that way. I don't remember if I actually showed off going this way or not. But yeah, this is the pathway to head up into the upper region more traditionally. I always forget about this pathway existing. I don't remember if I actually went down this pathway or not, if I went down the spring pathway, but yeah. This is where pretty much this pathway leads. I remember this quite fondly because actually the speedrunning route, what we do is, well, we just come down here, we follow this pathway, fall down here, land on the waters, a little bit further up ahead, and then just take the slip inside all the way down. A little bit of time save, you don't have to climb. How come I forgot about this pathway? I have no idea. In fact, I don't even remember if I did this during the playthrough or not. And then I've already shown off the other ladder glitch that's super easy to do. So, really the last thing to note lies in the world tree. Yeah. Would it be here faster? Yes, it would be. So I'm heading off to the world tree for the last major thing. At least for skips, and then we're going to do some fun stuff. Well, there's a couple of other things I probably should remember to do.
Let me get my breath.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm really starting to creak my chair. So, the next major thing of note is a thing that I didn't know about until after starting to run the game also. This is the last major thing to do and run, so you might notice I've already beat the game and yet this thing's still full. Well, as you might notice, things here are kind of jagged. Just trying to remember if it was this one. Yes, it was. So you just gotta go super slowly through this crack. There we go. Head up here. Menu. Disable menu. Oh yeah, we changed blades around. I'm just gonna do a quick blade change. There we go. And you're able to climb up the ladder. So, with this, you effectively skip having to lower the floodgates. Side effects, you don't get Perun's thing. That's really it. It's relatively simple. All you really gotta do is just go slow. So, the last thing here lies at trying to think of the fastest way. Essentially, we gotta go head to the sky bridge here, the skywalk. I think I have my winds equipped. Alright then. And one last major glitch that's really done in runs, well, there's one other that I need to research real quick, is door clip. So you might remember that there's a big old door here. You press a button, you acquire like high electric mastery, all that stuff, in order to go on through. As it turns out though, there is a way for you to clip through this and head on through. And you might have seen me just kind of freak out there. I am not good at this glitch. In fact, this is really the first time I'm really trying to attempt it. It's not a time save at all. Well, it is for new game because, well, you might try this glitch out in case you don't have your electric stuff up. It's one of those super high things and required. It's kind of crap, and it's also really precise. I don't know if it's possible to do with the doors open or not to practice. Yeah, it's not really worth doing. Essentially, what you're doing is just trying to get up into this wall.
Master Pawn must be tired.
Clip on through. Yeah, it's not really worth doing. It's a really hard glitch to do. I personally don't do it because, well, you have Harold, you have Pandora in the party, and that's enough to break on through and finish out this place, so not really worth doing, but might be worth investing. Next up, some other fun stuff that we can do, such as clipping through a wall. So over here in Tentley's Palace, one thing you can do is just hop right on through this. This is used in some speedruns. I personally don't do it because it's not enough of a time save. There's like a couple spots you can do this. There's one further up right before Zeke joins back. And then you just fall right down into the cutscene. Hooray for a little time save! Like 2 seconds. Alright. So here, what we gotta do is a series of very precise jumps. So essentially what we're trying to do is get on top of this little rock formation here. It's a super precise jump. It's gonna take me quite a few tries. I wanted to give me up there. So yeah, as you can tell, this wall is kind of awkward.
So what?
There we go. So as you can see, it's a pretty super precise jumps, but with this, we have escaped Temperantia. We are now out of bounds. What's out of bounds, you might ask? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, they made a Temperantia a really huge map that extends quite a bit out of bounds too. I don't think there's anything to note out of bounds. It's just something pretty fun to do. They might have wanted to include a little bit more back here for the Orion base, but I'm exploring around. I see no stinking Uriah. In fact, all I see is a lot more nothing. Yay. In fact, there's quite a bit of collision back here. It's relatively astonishing. I expect it to fall through right about now. We'll just keep on walking until we fall out of bounds. We'll fall there eventually.
Oh cool, you can actually see the coastline out there. Yeah, they really did a lot back here. Almost like they actually wanted to do a little bit more expanding of the map. Then again, they might not have been just leftovers in development. Oh yeah, nice little fog bank. A little one-dimensional. Very thin. Let's walk into the fog. Yeah, as you can see, we're really out of bounds. Really out of bounds. Yeah, we're over the crest. I'd say right around here would be where the Orion base would be. Well, the Mordine base. Right there's the coastline of Temperantia. It's a really interesting area. Yeah, there's the end. They really made a lot here in Temperantia. Honestly, quite astonishing. This is the first time I've been back here. I knew this area back here existed. I didn't know how much existed. So here's the end. And there's Cloud Sea. And there is quite a bit of descent down here too. I wonder if it's possibly get on over there. Or if this is the absolute boundary. Just how this is shaped, it's probably close to the boundary. No, we're still going. Going where no Nopon has ever gone before. Yes, Nopon. Just going. Because I think the quality's not programmed up here. It's just texture. I'm just curious if it's at all possible again over there. Yeah, it's not really textured. I don't think it's at all possible. Well, yes it is. Just pretty poorly textured. There we go. Now we're truly on the far northern tip of Temperantia. Really interesting. Looks like the far out of bounds is right up there. You actually need Temperantia itself is super small compared to the back half of Temperantia. Also, thank goodness for a quick step. I guess all the detail off a quick step. Yeah, I'm just surprised how much is over here. Well, we're here on the far northern end. There's a little bit more of an island out there. See if we can't swim through before we be met with an out of bounds. I'm generally surprised you weren't met with an out of bounds on the mainland. Because there's actually a little box if you were to swim far enough that says you can't go anymore out this way. It'll appear on the center part of the screen.
Oh, and we found the edge of the world. Now we're drowning in the Cloud Sea. No idea where I am. Oh, hit the death plane. That was a lot of stuff back there. Just from ascending one little wall, doing a few precise jumps, going all the way out there. So yeah, so the correct angle is just pretty much right by the quick travel point. Jump here, jump up on this ledge, and then, yeah. That was a really interesting excursion. Not going to go for it anymore though. So yeah, so that's it there. Quite a lot to the Ancient Wall and beyond. Way more than the actual land itself. Interesting. So, I guess what I'm kind of thinking here before we head on to the final part of the episodes, because there's two major things left. The first thing, well, three major things. The first thing, which is a minor detail that I kind of spaced off about, and that is common blades. Well, to be exact, one core chip that I messed up. When I said that there was an unused chip that's in the game, the lead chip, I was mistaken about it. I thought it was a chip that you can find in the wild to attach to your blades. As it turns out, it's already there. That is the default thing that's get equipped to all your blades. That comes with the primitive bolt, all that stuff. That is the lead chip, since you need a just a general thing to equip to your blades. This is the bare minimum to it. So that is the basic blade. It comes attached with the lead chip. It's not something you find in the wild, it's just something else there. And I guess one other, that's really it, really. There's something else really there. Just trying to think if there's anything else of note before heading on into, well, the main course of the episode. Alright, the next thing we are going to do is something that I've kind of mentioned before. And that is side effects of having Shulk and, I can't think. Yeah, Shulk and, Element in the party, as there was one menu that I didn't really go over. So first things first, I'm going to have Shulk out of the party, but on Zeke. And then going over to the settings, in the options menu for gameplay settings, there's something we haven't really done much. Special BGM, when enabled, special music will play when we're under unique monsters. So just going on over to Game Vidris, as you can tell, this is a fresh new game plus. Yeah, I'm far from optimized for this battle. So coming on down here, we get ourselves Ken. Yeah, let's see how fast we can go plow through Ken. This first battle, I'll just say, goes very badly.
I shall trust in you, Rex.
Just so. Wild volley. Armor crusher.
So yeah, so it just plays the regular battle theme. Nothing really too special.
Empyrean salvo.
Now I'm fired. Oh.
I'm getting fired.
Frigid, none can withstand my flame.
Vex, pull yourself together.
And now here is the battle with Shulk in the party. Yeah, Ken will really know our names and just how powerful we can truly be.
Roger, Roger.
Here we go. Bullseye.
Rush down.
Danger, Master.
Break
Danger.
Can't give up now. Go,
Ready.
go, go.
Haywire. Shot. Super. Bullseye.
Alright.
Azami,
And lastly,
your eye is so cool.
we have ourselves Element in the party. Plays probably the best unique monster theme in this series, Uncontrollable. So yeah, that's what the special BGMs are. As you can tell, yeah, Cutie Pie is just overpowered. Like the first battle, I died with Harold and Rex. Then again, also I have Abyss Mask, so I naturally take way more damage than what I should.
Out of my way.
Yeah, I get dunked on.
I believe in you, Shannon.
Yeah.
Slinger.
Alright,
Down.
that battle went by super fast and free.
Hang on a sec.
So that's pretty much it for the
Contact lens.
special battleground music. Next topic. Oh, I can think of one minor detail. One kind of interesting chest that we can find. They never quite mentioned that is useful for the any percent speedruns. The New Game Plus, I don't really use these, but for a new game, definitely useful. And that is here in Gormont. And I actually find this chest super well hid. Also down there is an ancient source that I could go ahead and beat right now, but I'm not really feeling it. So the location that is at is I know it's underneath one of these logs. Oh, I think it's not this one. Alright. Finally figured it out. It took quite a bit of searching. Again, this is super well hid, so you might notice that there is a little bit of an outlet right down here. We can head on in, and inside this regular treasure chest, we get ourselves a scaled ship, which is relatively alright. I mean, I remember watching runs of Xenoblade, the Xenoblade 2 new game, 80% DLC, and that's one ship that is gone for because it's generally helpful. I mean, not the greatest ship in the world, but still relatively alright for the early parts of the game. Next up, there is another thing, well, I'm thinking of precise jumps I kind of spaced off about right now, is in the land of Morth, our destination, Decaying Titan at the Womb Hollow. Alright then, so this last little skip that's semi-useful for some speedruns, not really, it's just right up here. You just line yourself up, and probably best if I do this with the character I'm actually used to doing. So we just line ourselves up. It's a little bit of a precise angle. What we generally want to do is aim with the highest point of this part with the lowest part of that part. Aim for it, jump. You do have a little bit downway, there we go. It's not my greatest aspect, and I kind of mess it up. Again, I'm not that great at this jump, and it's relatively not super worth it running mean. It is, but it isn't. As you can see, it's very temperamental. I'm just kind of doing this half-arsed anyways. So yeah, so you just back yourself up, get at the right angle, not get blinded by Wolfric. Yeah, Wolfric is literally the worst part about doing runs, since she is so large that it's really hard to see. Especially with the ship clip at the beginning of the game, there we go. The best way is just land yourself right up here, and jump on down. Saves like 10 seconds. It doesn't save too much time, but it does save having to go up and around. As you can see, it's not the greatest time save and not super worth going for, but it's a nice little party trick. So, with that all done, we only have two things left. Our first thing that we're going to do is going to be the main entree for this episode. And that is a side quest I completely forgot about. Well, not so much forgot about, more forgot that it existed, and then when I started the side quest, I thought this was a part of the 12 Brother Sister Pawn thing. Turns out, no. Ferrara is a part of his own side quest chain. So, the first one is here in Goldmouth. In the second floor, jump down from the end, and he's on top of the barrier here. It's very unusual to come all the way out here and talk to Ferrara. Ferrara was not trying to do anything dangerous, especially when Nalpan-born and Voltus Trade Guild become 5 years old, must go out alone for initiation called Walkie Walkie. Alright. First stop on journey is Goldmouth. Ferrara must have a look at work of fellow Nalpan at Argentum Trade Guild. So Ferrara was studying very closely activities of salvagers at Unfamiliar Guild. That makes sense. But thought of that amount of hard work made Ferrara not want to become grown up. Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie book says, when Walkie Walkie Nopon becomes sad, time to move on. Next go to place with wonderful view, get fresh feeling, and forget sad things. Maybe Ferrara destined to meet friend again. Best of luck. So, next up is in Goldmouth. Sorry, not Goldmouth, in Torgoth. The next segment of Ferrara, which we did get as part of the Trade Guild thing, is here in Ferrara. Yeah, this was the last part we did. Hello, friend. View from here is very grand. Ferrara had not seen much wonderful view before in all of life. Ferrara know what friend's thinking. Life of Ferrara not very long yet, but that's beside point. Watching people at Gormott from here, Ferrara think they generally too calm and relaxed for their own good. That because Gormott people, born in lovely land of plenty of food and nature, and not much problems. There was war at one point, but that no change basic nature of people much. Ferrara know what people think. No one who are only alive for 5 years should not make judgment about life. Meh. Anyway, Ferrara feeling hungry now. Want to gorge self on mushroom. Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook says, no good try to do anything while Tum Tum is empty. So gorging self on mushrooms is correct goal of Walkie Walkie. Anyway, maybe we meet again. Best of luck. So you kinda see the trend. This is supposed to be a game-long thing, but kinda well hid, and then you forget about things. One thing leads to another. We're going to Garfont. Next up is here in Garfont. We have to head to the mushroom cave thing here.
Here we go.
Hooray for Random Common Blade! So yeah, so it's behind the mercenary camp. Inside this little cave, which we were here once before, we have Ferrara once again. Hello, friend. Alright, converse with you. Ferrara eat too much, but this place like Elysium. Ferrara want to stay here forever and snug and warm and eating mushroom. White friends fix Ferrara with cold gaze. Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook say, even if want to settle down, Walkie Walkie Nopon must press on. So while sad to leave, Ferrara must go. Next destination can only be Fonzomima, capital of Araya. Anyway, maybe we'll meet again. Best of luck. Alright, to Fonzomima we go. Alright, the next destination is here in Fonzomima. Here on top of this house, I've done quite a few outros for videos. Right up here is Ferrara again. Hello, friend. Hello, friends. Ferrara was reflecting on bitterness of existence. People of Ryan of Moradine seems to like doing wars. Nopon do not do wars really. A world of merchants fraught with competition. Peace means no winners or losers, but life always have winners, so people must try not to lose. Life very cruel. Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook says, conflict is source of opportunity. Ferrara brought many fussy fungus, so maybe try selling to Araya army to get monies for travel. Anyway, maybe we meet again. Best of luck. Next up is going to be in More Ardain. Alright then, so next up is a very well hid part of Heartache Palace. Here on the very ground floor, over here in this little corner we have Ferrara once again. I wonder why I couldn't find him again in the rest of my playthroughs. Greetings. Meh. Ferrara knew friends would find Ferrara. Ferrara wanted to meet nice emperor, so went into throne room with no permission and got chased by soldiers. Fred is okay. Ferrara okay now, though. Had enough of being chased, though. Ferrara wants to go back to Riot Cave and snuggle up eating mushrooms. The Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook say Walkie Walkie Nopon must not go to the same place twice. It's sad, but Ferrara have to look for a different cave to snuggle up instead. Anyway, maybe we meet again. Best of luck. So this next segment depends on where exactly you are in the story. If you are not in Endel, well, if you've already been to past the point of no return of Endel, he will have moved move to Indel inside the cave by the refugee camp. We visited there briefly earlier. Instead, well, after the point of no return, well, Indel's kind of locked off, so it's got to be somewhere.
Off we go.
So I believe somewhere around the docks. Right here we have Ferrara by a campfire. Greetings. Cave of Indel, very comfy. Ferrara stayed there for a very long time. How? Okay, confirmed. Ferrara is a time traveler. Traveled back in time before Indel fell. Hung out in the cave for a little bit and then time traveled out. But then ground started shaking very lots and suddenly world tree in front of eyes. Ferrara never more shook in all of life. After that, Ferrara followed other people to boat and escape Indel safe. Ferrara very lucky to be living. Anyway, Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook say, no matter how hard things get, always keep going. People here was very helpful, but Ferrara must move on with Walkie Walkie. Quite tired of hot place now, so probably go to Tantal next. Next up is Tantal. Alright, and the next area is going to be here in Tantal, to be exact, right below the gate. We have this little hot spring here, and a point that's leading outside. Once we head outside, look who it is, Ferrara once again. You know it's very dangerous, right? And I don't know if you have the ability to zombie hover. Is something the matter? This Theosaur place is very amazing, Ferrara quite impressed. Outside of capital is freezy, but one step inside it's nice and warm. Ferrara tried touching walls of ruins, and they nice and warm too. Must be some amazing technology at work. Would like to use at Voltus Trade Guild when visit cold places. Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook say, when finding good souvenir, buy without hesitate. Ferrara liked these ruined pillars very lots, so we'll take one home as souvenir. I see. That was a joke. Even Ferrara not really do that. Ferrara hear people talk just now about place related to Hero Adam. Probably we'll head there next. Anyway, maybe we meet again. Best of luck. Alright then, and the next destination, once you get out of the, yeah, it's very laggy in Tantal. So many, not memory leaks, skip travel lags. So, next up is Fonset. Alright, next destination, and one of the final areas, is going to be here in left area in, Fonset. Behind the town here is the old tree, there we go, Old Man Caskell's tree. And somewhere around here, yes, here's Ferrara once again. Snug up next to a tree, eh? Ferrara never been in a place like this before. It's very empty and backward. Ferrara mean quaint and rural village. Even more calm and relaxing Ormont. I do agree, this area is very relaxing in terms of music. When here is like Rokus of Uriah and Morty and Just Bad Dream. Climate nicer than Tantal too. Very good for living. This place is so nice, Ferrara wonder why everyone not come here. Yes. Anyway, Voltus Trade Guild Walkie Walkie guidebook say, after visit 8 regions, Walkie Walkie is complete. Sad to end journey, but Ferrara go back now to Voltus Trade Guild. Friends keep Ferrara company lots along the way, so maybe should drop by Voltus and Ferrara prepare a little thanks. Sort of thanks now, eh? Oh, Ferrara understand, Voltus Trade Guild too far away for friends to come get thanks. That is shame. Ferrara wanted to show friends local shark gecko. Okay, how about Ferrara wait for friends on Goldmouth flight deck? How's that sound? Got it? Hope to see friends soon. Alright. And lastly here, we have Ferrara with some, Nopon cards. Something wrong. Ferrara contacted Home Guild to report Walkie Walkie finished, and they send Nopon to bring home. Thought of going back to days of elite schooling at Voltus Trade Guild not make Ferrara very happy. Is that right? Oh yes, did Ferrara not mention, Ferrara is heir of Voltus Trade Guild. What? Training very hard every day to make Voltus best Nopon Trade Guild and beat Argentum. But thanks to all memories of meeting friends on travels, Ferrara will be able to survive tough education now. Here, this is thanks for friends from Ferrara. Much thanks. It's Ferrara who should be thanking friends. Ferrara hope friends stay well and keep working for the sake of all rest. Alright, and our rewards here is Endurance 4, Blade Combo Boost 4, and Resurrection Symbol. I mean, technically for Chapter 7 stuff, this is pretty good, but I have level 6 stuff. So that concludes that little side quest chain. An unmarked one, which is wonder why I didn't really know about it for too long. It definitely is a random side quest that exists. The next topic is a big one. Artwork, namely concept artworks. I highlighted these a while ago when I did the first New Game Plus playthrough, but I wanted to hold off on talking about them more in detail until after Torna wrapped up because there's some stuff that's released that's both involved with Torna and in the main game. In February 2019, Xenoblade 2 All Rest Records was released in Japan. Never made it out of Japan, but several translations exist of the artwork. No real lore is hidden away within these books like for Xenoblade 1, but it does contain loads of concept arts for many characters. There are a lot, and these were originally uploaded on a 4chan upload anonymously and by Twitter user Vargras, compiled on Imgur by Parallel98. There's a lot of cool concepts here, including different looks of Adam, a humanoid look of a Xion, Poppy Buster having different forms compared to the final form that was used, and weapons that also seem like Poppy could have used at one point before becoming separate blades. Reset concepts are amazing, especially the last one, Dahlia looking way better in the concept forms, and including a Kitsune form with one of them. Dromark is on fire, Electra having a younger variant, more toddler aged, Azurta looking very cute, especially the middle pick, Haze looking more like an empress, Laura having a pretty cool cape, Milton having some different concepts, Morag with a badass cape, Newt looking way more safe for work, Percival having an Oni appearance which is actually really cool, Pyra having a different look, and my profile picture. There also exists an alphabet for the Ulrus language, but the translation for it is in Japanese. These are only some of the highlights. There are a lot and I haven't even touched on like half of them. And I will have a link in the description to the images of the book, but I will warn you the book isn't very safe for work. Then again, this game isn't the most safe for work. So our destination is going to be at the streets, and we're going to head here to Greenwell Tunnel number 8, I think?
My brains to put this
Alright
to
then,
good
so
use.
for the very last side quest, and well, the last major thing is here in the expansion pass. The one last side quest we never did. Quest distribution number 4, the very last one that was available, is take Adenine and Cosmos to Wall Power Control Room, Moritha, Chapter 10. We have Adenine and we have Cosmos in the reserves. I kind of want to save this up for the main party. As you can see, there's something in that room up ahead. I don't think I'm ready for this. I guess before I really head on out, going to head to options and make sure I'm on normal for this. And actually, I am going to adjust my Rex's blades real quick. Alright then. I think this is the party I'm going to roll with this for the final challenge. I'm running Morag with a Shulk, Nia with Grisette, and Tora with overpowered setup. So, upon heading inside this room, we arrive here at the Wall Power Control Room, and we have the ancient tablet. Meh.
This is most interesting.
It looks simple enough. Here, let me read it for you. In interest of safety, launch codes divided into 2. Co-signed the 2 stopper sovereigns. Use codes to override, and that's about that. The data is really fragmented, so I can't really get much from this, but it sounds interesting, eh? Does it? Ah, you never get excited about anything, Cosmos. Are you sure it's not some part of you deep down inside that's dying to know more? You're not even a tiny bit curious to know what would happen if we got our hands on those codes. I have predicted the outcome. I see no need to go through with this. Imagining is nothing compared to seeing the truth with your own eyes, though. So for the codes we need to take out those 2 stopper sovereigns. You don't mind if we make a little detour for that, will you, driver? Then we have mystery launch codes. A huge reason why I've been saving this one for last. This is the single hardest side quest in the game. Hands down. So while we are heading out to the first location, you might notice I've been giving out a lot of the stats for the challenge mode monsters. That is because before challenge mode was released, there was some information that was gathered about challenge mode monsters. One of the things that was revealed was all those challenge mode monsters. There was one that went missing into the game, and that, well, there was quite some. So yeah, so we're going to go on ahead and just take these guys out. So you just only need the first one. Alright then. Go ahead and finish him out. Alright, Thunder Drive, no thank you. So that's Shulk's ability. Used properly this time. It might be of some use heading on further. Alright then. Go ahead and take out the last of the S-Stoppers, I guess. So, there is a lot of them. One of the things that was missing was like the 3rd or 4th highest HP enemy that was within the game. One of the strongest that never made it into challenge mode. That was forgotten, but that's what's going to happen. The lost one. Darn it. So yeah, these guys, they hit hard. Again, challenge mode monsters that never made it into challenge mode. Truly the strongest forces on Alres. I mean, I'm Tora, a tank, and I was taking a lot of abuse there. Then again, I'm also set up for master mods. So that could be one of the issues. So our next destination is going to lie on the very top of the highway. Thankfully, I already know my way through this area. Hello there, Mr. Goldo that we don't fight, and going through here to the dark because who needs light? Yeah, I remember going through this quest casually, and it was brutal. One reason why I do have Morik is just to take some of the aggro. Needs for general healing, though Tora is pretty much good enough on his own. Yeah, Tora is going to be the main DPS. I can go ahead and topple lock the ultimate super boss because Tora, I'm super heavily optimized. I need to double check, make sure I have Master Scope equipped. Because Master Scope, yep. So, this is probably the best solo tank output for Tora, but we'll just go through this little segment. So out here on the highway, our destination's going to lie pretty close to the end, close to where level 4 arts for poppy parts are. So heading on out here, we get more level 96 stopper enemies. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. Alright. Didn't quite get that. Swooshing slash. Alright. No stopper drive. Thank you. There we go. That was the first one. And got the last of the codes. But again, you don't need to take them all out, but it definitely helps. So yeah, so you can get toppled. Things get really oof. Okay. Yeah, getting toppled really sucks because you lose out all your evade. In these battles, I remember dying so many times as Rex. Yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty much dead. Well, I would say that, but Tora is overpowered as hell. Yeah, specials level 1, level 5. You get some super good stuff from these guys, even just casually. Just these guys really suck trying to take them on. Alright. Thunder Drive, you. Yeah, these guys are just annoying. I'll give them that much. Getting topple locked. Assault wheelie. Not fun. Alright, so that was it. So I'll see you guys back in the room. Alright, that task is done. Alright then. So the launch code should be entered in here. Da 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 da. Huh? Well, that's odd.
This is most interesting. Optic nerve auxiliary circuit unlocked.
Of course. We need to go to the data processing room in the World Tree. It seems to be so. What are we waiting for then? Let's get going. I'm sure there will be something awesome waiting for us. Uh-huh. Alright then. So here in the data processing room, where Mark 6 Margaret would be, we have question mark here. Here we are. Now let's see what these launch codes do now.
This is most interesting.
Okay, there's the first one in, looking good. Now code number 2.
This is most interesting. Optic nerve auxiliary circuit unlocked.
Yeah, X-ray Ancient Wisdom level 99. Aw, this is way too hard. I have to study more if I want to get these codes in. Much more. I know. I'll get a load of books, some long-lasting foods, and hole up in a room for a few weeks, and... That will not be necessary, Adenine.
Initializing simulation.
Code entered. Override successful. Really? Really? Yes, it is complete. But how, Cosmos? Do you have some secret repository of knowledge about the World Tree or something? Incorrect. It is simply that I detected an anomaly in level 3 Alioth. Maybe that's where our something awesome is. Although I'd love to find out more if you manage this, I'm more interested in seeing what the code's unlocked. I just know it's gotta be something amazing. Let us hope so. Something dangerous has appeared. So, something amazing, or something terrifying.
And we're you.
Let us head forward. That's it? Indeed, with those codes, no, what you unlocked. How could I have done something like this? I was only after treasure or something awesome. I did warn you. This is perhaps the strongest foe in the World Tree, roaming free now. Warnings were never going to beat my curiosity. I'm so sorry, driver. But you can't deny that awakening this crazy thing is kind of interesting, right? No. Welcome to the strongest enemy in the game. The real super boss. Nameless Sentinel, level 125. Stats up there. With what I'd straight up argue, the highest stats of the game. Sadly though, I'm just going to be topple locking it. Alright then. So yeah, just trying to do as much damage as I can. Alright, we got that. So this guy has 25 million health. More health than a lot of the other super bosses. In fact, the other strongest super boss of the game, Scrap Drill, I guess I'll take it. This is not his dangerous attack. He has Enchant Sword, which might as well be an insta-kill. Alright, just go ahead for the first orb. Yeah, you saw how much that did. Did so much damage, and now just a regular attack. Alright then, so yeah, I'm going for fusion combos. I guess when. So yeah, so Nameless Sentinel, you have to be on top of your game. Analysis sensor, that's probably not good. Alright. I'll chain attack if necessary. So yeah, so you really want to avoid trying to get the status. Oh, not good. Oh, well, you got the launch. Just going for additional damage. I don't get as much damage in, but I'll have to take it. As long as you can get more orbs on. Scrap drill. Resist break you. Yeah, as you can see, that did a crapload of damage. And it's somehow resisting all my breaks even though I have the highest break status on. Alright, going for the smash. Wind's not great for fusion combos, but I'll take it. Enchant Sword. Oh, hell no. Enchant Sword is the strongest attack, might as well be a total team party kill. Yeah, as you can see, it would probably do a lot of damage. Corset. And Shulk. I'm purposely trying to avoid... Okay, I guess we are going to have to go for it. I probably should have gone for Sever. Not the greatest. I guess reset once again for increased damage combos. So yeah, this guy is not going down. And I guess Shulk once again. I'm really not optimized for Morag. Yeah, that was the reason why I was afraid of this guy. Why I saved him for last. Alright, as you can see, that did 4 million and not that much. Pulling sensor, you. Okay, that was his dangerous attack.
This isn't what I wanted.
Okay. I'm not liking all those breaks. Enchant Sword. No thank you. Yeah, this battle really went south super fast. And the only reason why I was really able to live was because of... Scrap drill, no thank you.
Maximum output. Mia's turn. Ready or
Finish.
Yeah, not too much.
Remind me to hold back next time. Eagle gave it his all.
Ice wind break.
When do we get to the dissection?
Okay. Got that all in. Where's more I got? Alright, you got the launch in. Alright, get back in. Okay, let's try to go for level 4. Scrap drill. No, thank you. Alright. Yeah, I'm just trying to play this as safe as I can. We got an orb on. Oh cool, we got the topple. Let's try to go for Shulk. Yeah, I'm just trying to go for all the driver combos. Alright, not good. Analysis sensor, that's not the it's pulling sense we gotta be careful of. There we go. Thank you, Shulk. Alright. Thank goodness for that. So that was his super dangerous art. So now he's enraged, so all his attacks will do a lot more. Go for the break. Topple. Yeah, this is pretty much a demonstration of how good Tora can be.
Water. Bend to my will. Blade combo. Third step. Awesome. Ruinous weather. Topple.
Threat level is significant. Master Palm. Stand with Palm.
Ruinous weather.
Alright, got the launch.
Ready to strike. Okay. I am come. In I go. Butterfly blade. Speedy sword.
Got the break. Topple.
Threat level is significant.
I'm just trying to play this super safe. Alright, analysis sensor, that's not the super dangerous one. Alright. Trying to think what would be next best thing to go for. Scrap drill, I guess. Yeah, this is where Shulk really becomes really useful. And I guess nuclear blast.
Blade combo. Third stage. Awesome.
Nice strong little buster.
I shall defend you to the last grade.
Topple. And I guess go for the start on Earth. Alright, we can get Volcano on to really boost our damage in. Pulling sensor, no thank you. Don't want that shenanigans all over again, so we got 3 orbs to deal with this time.
Magnificent.
Alright, do I want to go for the orbs or not? I'm just trying to think here. Just trying to think, do I want to or do I not? Let's go for it.
Magnificent. Elemental burst. Magnificent.
Alright, just try to go in for a lot more damage now. Cutie Pie is primarily my damage dealer.
Magnificent.
I don't think we will be able to kill, but it'll be close.
Magnificent.
Okay, we're in the clear, so Sever. Get a few more damage in.
Elemental burst. Magnificent.
Cutie Pie, once again.
Magnificent.
Yeah, I don't think this will be able to be enough. I mean, yeah, definitely worthwhile of a final battle.
Elemental burst.
A lot more damage. I guess Shulk's probably my best damage.
Magnificent.
Little Buster.
Magnificent.
Yeah, even if I get damage cap, it probably won't be enough.
Magnificent.
Alright. I think Reset's the best bet.
Magnificent.
It'll be close. Alright, Bridget's our best bet. Yeah, it'll be super close.
Finish.
Not quite damage cap. This guy has a lot. Alright, meet the ground. Alright, we can get smashed on.
Volcano.
Go for the break. Alright, got chain attack once again. Let's go for the volcano. We do have additional weakness damage to him.
Third stage.
Yeah, I'm really liking this challenge. So yeah, the Lost Monster of Challenge mode.
Storm break.
Alright. Good enough. Let's finish this out. One last battle to finish everything out.
Magnificent.
Percent.
Elemental burst.
We got the burst. Sever. Just for some damage. Overkill begin. Let's finish this. This was a challenge. This took a long time to take out. Romark, I guess? And Schult.
Very well.
Hey, that didn't launch. That was supposed to launch.
Enemy down.
Well, I guess topple, technically. And with this, we have completed mystery launch codes. We have defeated the strongest thing in the World Tree. To be correct, the strongest thing in all of Allrest. The ultimate enemy. 25 million HP. We have done it. We have conquered the last thing in the game. Dropped quite a bit of money and another source of Dalton chips. The main sad thing about Nameless Sentinel, you cannot fight him again. He is not technically a unique monster. He is nameless. But with that, that was the last challenge in the game. We managed to take on every single unique monster, taking on just about everything. And now for the last thing for the game. One little detail about the game's story. What is the conduit? Alright, the last thing that we are going to do is conduit stuff. There's a huge story that involves the conduit, but we're going to go to the conduit. So in order to start this out, it's a very complicated process, and you are going to need zombie hovers for this. So I do have Nia up with throw mark for zombie hover stuff. So the first area that we need to go to for this thing is going to be up here by the pillar. In order to access the pillar, we need to head beyond the water tower here. For this, I would recommend having throw mark in your party, so that way you have someone you can control, and then just any other blade, just so that way you can control with jumping for the first step. So we're coming up here to this little pillar. It's a little bit finagly to get. Alright, so we want to aim for this corner. Aim the camera a little bit. I didn't mean to fall that far. So yeah, this is why we need draw mark. Just that way we can control ourselves and start jumping, because zombie hovering is very temperamental. You don't have much room to work with, so just back yourself up a little bit. I didn't like that. Damn it. So yeah, zombie hover is going to be very useful for this. Alright, third time's a charm. Hopefully. Get out of here, pupper. Alright, just back it up a little bit. Nope, that wasn't it. Alright, Dagus here. A little over. Back up. And jump into this crack. There we go. Once you're in here, switch to draw mark. And then go for this little bit of a dip. Don't go too far, you'll get back in bounds. And now we are out of bounds and free to explore all of the rest of Elysium. There's a lot to explore here in Elysium. However, though, this episode's already gone on long enough, and we still have a lot more left to go, so just the expedited process. What we want to do is head over to this little building here. We want to hug the building until we get on to the backside. It's a little bit of a walk. Again, this whole process is very long and complicated. Yeah, there's no collision on the backside of this building, but this next step can be a little bit temperamental. It's very glitchy. Within this step, you have two spots you can go to. You can make it up either way. I'm trying out the back way, but it's very, as you can tell, very finagly. Can't really see at all. I'm just switching blades around. Yeah, we're literally stuck between two objects, and the game doesn't know what to do. Let's see if we can switch blades here real quick. Alright, little something. There we go. Alright, we're finally free. So that's pretty much the hardest step done. So now I just switch back to Bromark. Now we get to run along this highway. This highway is pretty wide, but who knows what type of special convoys they have in the future. Alright, so that's that. So next up we have a lot of debris to climb over. Yeah, this entire process is a pretty long setup, so jump here. Head over here. Alright, now you just got to jump over this rubble. Not too hard to do. Come on. There we go. Alright. There's one or two more sets left. And we're home free. Yeah, I don't know how much of the highway you can explore, but as you can tell, there is a lot to see here in Elysium. A lot of detail, but I'm not going to go over that. You're free to explore this entire area on your own time. There's just so much to see here. It's really interesting. Just got to get out of bounds, and there you go. So kind of deviating out a little bit, there's another little spot that we can go to. So to get to the ending area, there's just two spots I want to highlight. Just literally walk forward. Just keep on following the highway a little bit. There's some debris that we have to jump over here. There's a lot to Elysium. This is only like 2 highlights of the several things you can do. You can fall on top of the final boss's chamber. Yeah, so I like to jump on into this highway, which has no collision, and then just walk right towards the city. Once again, we're using drone mark and zombie hover just that way we don't fall to our deaths and have to respawn. So yeah, so you can explore the city. As you can tell, there's no collision here. So yeah, then there's also different layers. So it's actually really interesting just seeing how much of the city there is, because there is a lot to the city that you can explore. Just all ruin, no collision. So eventually, continuing to go on this way, there's definitely a lot. Since there's a lot to Elysium. The reason why we're going through this is to get to the ending area just before we get to the conduit and that fun stuff. So continue to head forward. It's just literally a straight shot. The best way I could describe it is aim for the skyscrapers in the background. Just looking ahead on this, there's a lot more to the city. I mean, it's definitely larger than most every other city in Elysium. Just the future, so heading on down here, this floor does not have any collision. So just pray you land, since it's literally a blind jump, and eventually we're here in the escape pod bay that's in the ending. So yeah, if you can see it, you can go there, even if it's not intentional. So yeah, so it's pretty cool actually getting on into the ending area. So I guess a couple of little things to know is that, well, there's a lot of stairways. They have a little bit of wonky collision once again. Not really expecting you to get here in the first place. Best to not have drone mark there, because drone mark's weird in several regards. So somewhere around here, I think it's the next door. It's one of these. Yes, it is this one. So this is the bridge that collapses in the ending. As you can see, it's already collapsed. It's a long ways down. I don't really want to fall to my death there. Just walking along the edgeways, there is quite a bit here. I mean, you can't quite jump here from here into the stairway that leads from Ion's chamber down to the escape pod bay, but and just something really interesting just going on here. There's a little bit of collision, not really. I mean, it's a halfway attempt, but as you can see, you really cannot clip on through. I mean, there might be a clip, but don't really got the time for that, and then just waiting for me to go on to the other side, just seeing how that side goes. So yeah, so again, this is only just a couple of the highlights. I mean, you can go on top of the Ion's chamber, and there might be some other areas you can go to that's not quite well shown. Elysium is a very expansive area that we don't really do much. Just looking on up, you don't really get to see much. I mean, obviously there's a lot less debris that's falling here, so if you can see it, you can go there. Theme of Xenoblade. So heading on to the other side, yeah, you can see that part of the wall. Well, this wall is a lot better collision, but there's some holes in the pathway, so probably why everyone died. Elysium's full of holes. Surprised we don't get sucked out to the vacuum of space or anything like that. So I guess the final little highlighted note is going on into the escape pods. As you can see, none of them are here. They just load in the ending. So yeah, so too bad we can't escape Elysium from here, but I guess that would kind of ruin the continuity, since there would be artifices in the way, and they would probably destroy them. So there's one last little cool aspect. I mean, you can see the pod door that opens, so this is obviously where the thing is. We tried jumping on in. So yeah, so here I was kind of contemplating on what to do. So yeah, so a little bit of warning is that the floor here is not the most stable. As you can see, we just fall right on through, and we're on top of the world. So yes, over there is where all the lasers are. And if you try walking forward a little bit, like back towards the Ion's chamber, you can kind of see the Ion's chamber from here. So yeah, so as you can see, there's a lot to Elysium. A lot more than we can show. Just doing 2 highlights. So yeah, we're falling back to Earth. A little bit of lighting. So yeah. Now for the other fun part, the conduit. Now comes the part well, we don't need zombie hover for this quite yet, but jump down here and we're on the back side of the northern wall, close to where the church is. So next up we need to head on over along this little hilltop. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gate out there. Don't know how much collision there is there. So just come down to the bottom of this hill and turn around, and somewhere around here there should be something where you can go in. Here we are. So next up, go on right under here, bring the camera in as close as you possibly can so that way you'll be able to see, because if it's any out then you're going to have to navigate blind because the camera will view stuff that's above you. So just follow this ridge line. Yeah, you don't want to fall in quite yet, otherwise you might land in the architect's room. So here's a little bit of a sharp outcrop. Follow it in here, and pretty much I'm free now. So this is the part where zombie hover comes in. So just jump right in here, and we have broke into the conduit. Remove fall damage, and you can now freely explore the conduit room. There's not too much here. If you fall down to the central part, then you can't get back out. There's also a little bit of a glass room you can also enter, but you also cannot escape. So I'm just going along here just to get to the Trinity processor for the last little bit of information. So there was Klaus's room, and right down here, where well, the power of the conduit is. So I guess going ahead and switching up to Rex, just to start the final little bit of story. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot to do in this room, but with that all done, there lies one final detail about the game. A detail that I've kind of highlighted here and there, but it's story time. So right up here is the Trinity processor, and up there is the conduit. So the question is, what exactly is the conduit?
Morning already? It is new day.
Yes, it is new day. So there's a lot of lore that involves the conduit, all of which comes on a little set. In the year 2018, in Japan they released a Siren model kit that comes with a fully fledged model of Siren. However though, that was not the only thing included within the Siren. There was also a story that describes a lot about the origins of the conduit. On a Xenomira on a WordPress site, there lies a translation done by Lugal Banda that describes this stuff on the back since it's all in Japanese, so major shoutouts to him. So going on into pretty much the highlights of Siren. Siren is an artifice manufactured in the orbital rings in the lower orbit of Earth. These artifices are not weapons created by humans. They were created by a collective artificial intelligence known as the Trinity processor, designed as a weapon meant as defense devices for the core or the conduit. So these are all pretty much cells of a larger being, kind of similar to how Xenogears operates. The next thing about the conduit is that within the orbital rings there's a massive academic institution known as IADOS. These institutions were confined to a small laboratory. By the beginning of the 21st century, scientists from the laboratory found a certain magnetic abnormal matter in Africa. In this matter later became known as the Gate, or in conduit in English, was an intriguing artifact that was very dangerous to those around it, so it was researched up in space. So this might sound a little bit familiar with the conduit being found in Africa. It's very similar to the discovery of the Zohar in the Xenosaga series. Starting to see a lot of connections between the two here. Here in space, there was 3 beanstalks situated along the equator. The first one is Rhadamanthus, the second is Oxus, and the third one is Minos. The first one is the one that is in the game that contains the conduit, while the other 2 were destroyed, so there could have been more world trees about the world. These rings were connected all around the world as a base of operations, and since this was also situated around the equator, it kind of throws the Mortha situated around Houston a little bit out of the waters. Unclear as where exactly it takes place, but it could be an artificial island. As to the world's construct at the time, there lies a one world nation in which all the world powers were combined, there was a group of rebels known as the Savior Rebels that did not agree with the unifications of the nations and set out to, well, destroy it all. So that's more or less the situations there. The orbital ring that situated the Earth, and then Klaus's actions for that. So that's more or less the highlights of the translation of the thing. It gives a lot of perspective. Just how much the conduit really has. It has links to both Xenogears and Xenosaga. One thing about Gears and Saga is that the whole series was meant to be a 6-part series. Xenosaga episodes 1 through 3, and then Xenogears was set to be episode 5 or so. However, though, because of issues with the selling of Xenosaga, the entire series was cut short, but we can see that the whole the whole Xenoverse really stems out just from this one little bit. And that is pretty much everything. That was the whole situation with the conduit, and the last little bit of information about the game. I guess we only have one thing left to do, and that is talk about the whole project as a whole. So, I'll see you guys all at the credits. Time to go slay Ion one last time. Thank y'all so much for watching this Let's Play. Can't believe that this long project's finally done. But alas, it's come to an end. Thank y'all so much for watching this Let's Play. Can't believe that a year ago, I started this Let's Play saying, it will be bad but won't be too bad. And 141 episodes later, or I guess 170 if you can include all the Torna, we are finally done. We've done everything we can possibly do in this game, so I guess one last time, going over my thoughts on the project. This project has been insane. Easily the hardest Let's Play I've ever done. Easily. This really took a lot out of me, but I'm really glad for the end product. Yes, there's some parts I'm not really too keen on. Torna I'm a little on. The main game though I do like, even though I'm kind of a little bitter on several aspects of the game. Merc missions are just one thing that I don't like about this game. The gacha system. And general, I guess all the field checks and such. However though, there's a lot of stuff I do like about this game. Yeah, Chapter 4 is kind of a drag, but the late game really presents itself really well. And yeah, I do like going through this game though. Like I said, this project took a lot out of me. At least about 150 hours in terms of gameplay. That I recorded only about 130 or so. A lot of this stuff was done behind the scenes, just doing all those merc missions and such. It really took a lot out of me, but I'm just grateful for the end product. Hopefully you all enjoyed this project too. It's been quite a long ride. So, just continuing on. I'm kind of glad that I did the project in the way I did. Yes, there was a lot of downtime here and there towards the late game, just there was a lot of stuff going on. Takes a lot of time to edit, takes a lot of time to upload. I mean, these last few videos, normally I can get 5 or 6 videos done a day. Here, it's taking like 1 or 2 days at least for each video to make, especially for the challenge mode in this episode. It's been pretty rough, but I'm glad for the end product. And hopefully you all also enjoy this Let's Play. So, I guess while I'm thinking about it, a couple shoutouts. Primarily to the speedrunning community of Xenoblade 2. Just teaching me a lot of the tricks for this game, and just all of you guys sticking around. This Let's Play went on for a full year, and it was quite the adventure. Even though yes, there's some parts I'm not really too keen on, and just kind of going back to Torno a few weeks ago, kind of going to now, my depression was still at it when I was recording. Even now, you can probably tell a little bit of depression in my voice, but I still really enjoyed this project, and hopefully you all did too. So, I guess with all that done, what's next for the channel? Kind of how it's been for the past few Let's Plays, especially those that are for longer projects. I don't know. This might have been the last project. This Let's Play really was a lot to work through, and while I am a little bit ahead in terms of projects like it's early August in terms of when I'm uploading this, but who knows what happened in the 5 or 6 months, or I guess 4 or 5 months since the since this video came out. So hopefully you all enjoyed this project. 2020 was a very rough year for all of us, and yeah, hopefully this project though, y'all enjoyed it, and hopefully this was a bright spot in this very dark future, and may the next year be hopefully better. Hopefully. So yeah, as for what's next, again, don't really know. This might have been it, or there might be another project up next. Really up to how I'm feeling at this time. So hopefully y'all enjoy this project, and this has been Orpheolus with the very end of the Xenoblade 2 Let's Play. This year-long project has now come to an end, and hopefully y'all enjoy this project, and I'll see you guys for whatever brings next. I'll see you then.